A lot of modern men will suffer in silence if they already aren't. You're going to head into a life of quiet desperation. And I'm going to give you and break down all the reasons why you will. And it's extremely unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's better to brace yourself for it than to be surprised by it. And this is just the reality of the world, guys. The heydays of masculinity and manhood are way gone. The way those men used to stay and stick up for one another in the King Leonidas days and the years before, where men were respected, those years have gone away. And I'm going to explain all the reasons why in this video. What inspired this video is, of course, the recent outrage with Joy Taylor and how we have simps coming out of the wazoo that don't even know this woman, defend this woman, calling Jason Whitlock, who is just talking the truth about how feminism is taking over, how DEI hires are taking over the workplace, which is one of the reasons why you men can't get a job. It's because whenever you go into an interview, you're qualified expecting to get the job. Well, there's a woman across the way that's more attractive to you than you, and she's willing to give him a handy, give him a BJ, or give it up entirely, which is why she got the promotion over you, which is why she got the job over you, killing more of your job competition and your ability to keep or to make money. Also, it's the family core. It's the feminism destroying the family, which is a big purpose for men. Having family, having a wife to provide for, having kids to provide for that love you, that means a lot. That's a big purpose. That gives men a lot of purpose in life. A lot of men, if they didn't have that, they would take themselves out. And maybe that's why the suicide rates are skyrocketing right now, because nobody gives a shit. And so you're going to live a life of quiet desperation. Why? Because men do not stick together. Why are they so loyal to defend Joy Taylor that they do not know? Why are they so outraged, this fake outrage of Jason Whitlock saying she has two big cans and she has peanut butter skin? How is that inappropriate? Cam Newton will sit up on a damn podcast and say that's inappropriate, but isn't it inappropriate that you have 3+ kids by different women? Isn't that inappropriate? Isn't it inappropriate that the Barstool nerds that are clowning him, that probably when they get off their shift at work, they probably are PORN addicts? Is that appropriate? You have Godfrey, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. It's a 90s rapper, if you guys don't know who that is. Even Dave Portnoy, who really talks too much to be a CEO, but who cares, right? Men don't stick together, which is why nothing is going to change in this world. The family court isn't going to change. Women aren't going to change because they know they can get you out of the way and get a simp. Your Johnson runs you. So we ain't even got to the reasons yet. That was just the intro. It's gonna be one of them videos, guys. You're brainwashed by feminism. A lot of men today that are brought up in this feministic culture, you have feminine energy. Why? Because you're feminist. Every woman today, even if she's a conservative woman, is a feminist to a degree. Likewise with the men, a lot of you men are feminists too, to a degree. Which, and plus, you come from broken families, which means what? You have that feminine energy from your mother. So you're getting taught feminism from the media and the propaganda, and then you're getting reinforced in the household each and every day because you don't have a masculine figure in the house, which is contributing to men not sticking together because we're bickering like women, not staying in our logical, rational lens, which is where we're best at. So when women call you sassy, they're not entirely wrong. There are lots of men that are sassy, which is why men don't stick together, which is why men are defending women they don't even know on the internet. Here's another reason why you're going to suffer in silence as a man. We don't talk about our real feelings as a man amongst each other. We don't talk about our real feelings because why? We're taught that you're supposed to bottle everything up. Even though if you bottle everything up, this is why you become abusive and angry, and an angry drunk is because you have too many bottled up emotions. You need to talk about your real emotions, but we're trained that you're not a man unless you hold your emotions in. And I'm not saying we should be crying every 5 seconds over a stubbed toe, but guys, you have real feelings and real pain that you're dealing with. You need to talk about it. But let's say you did try to talk about it, because every man goes to this stage, right? You try to talk about it with your friends. You try to talk about it with the men in your life, your brother, your father, your uncles. You even try to talk about it with the women in your life, your aunties, your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife. And what makes you close off and not talk to those people anymore? They downplay your feelings. They downplay your feelings because really they don't give a shit. They downplay your feelings because they don't really have the answers for you. They don't really know how to cope and answer a real problem themselves. They're going to tell you some bullshit like, oh man, just let it go. So once you realize that men and women that are close to you downplay your feelings, that's what makes you close off. So now you're in the stage, now you're in the middle of suffering in silence. You've actually, this is the cycle that you're in right now. Because every time you voice your feelings, everybody doesn't listen to it, or they don't give advice that works. You stop going to women because women don't really understand what it's like to be a man. Her struggles are not your struggles. And you stop going to women because it hurts more to talk about something and to not be heard than to just hold it in. It's easier just to hold it in and not suffer that disappointment. So you close off. You bottle up your emotions. We don't talk about our relationships. What's really bothering us. It's all surface level. When a man can be in a whole relationship with a woman, a whole marriage, and be dealing with something that is nagging at him, and he'll come around his boys and we'll ask each other, how's your life going? How's your relationship going, and it's always the same bullshit. It's okay. When in reality, he's about to break up with the woman because he can't take it anymore. In reality, he's in real pain and disappointment because every time he brings up a problem to her, she lacks accountability and responsibility and blames him for everything. And that's starting to take a toll on him. She starts downplaying his feelings as if he's a little boy. And that's eating away at him. Because when she has a problem, she voices it and expects it to be fixed. But every time you voice and say an opinion, she blames it on you. And instead of talking about it and venting about it with your boys to get that off, you suffer in silence amongst some other men as well, saying it's okay when it's not. Then you get to a point, and this is the breaking point. You're either going to cope or you're going to break at this point. Then you realize no one cares. You start off talking to people about your feelings, or you've been taught to close up your feelings and not talk about it, which is causing other problems and causing you to be angry, because the way men cry is through anger. The way men deal with pain is through anger. The way men deal with vulnerability is through anger. Kevin Gates had even talked about this in Fairy Tale when he said he was molested. He felt vulnerable and overcompensated by being angry and violent, because he don't want to ever feel that weakness, that vulnerability that you were as a little child. And so you've either been taught to bottle up your emotions by society, by the men in your life, which is contributing to you suffering in silence, or you've tried talking about it and people downplay your emotions as if your emotions are nothing, as if the situation and the pain that you're dealing with is very minuscule, it's nothing. When in reality, it's messing you up. It's stressing you out. Then you hit the breaking point. What's the breaking point, Miles? You realize no one cares. You can't talk about it with your boys because it's always surface level. You can't talk about it with women because women don't understand the struggles of a man, or they lack accountability. You've been taught to suffer in silence by bottling up your emotions. So what do? This is the stage where men delete themselves. You know those points in life where it's always the happiest person. Isn't it so funny? It's not funny. Let me rephrase that. Isn't it so sad that the person that is the most happy, the person that you would least expect to take their life, ends up taking their life by suicide? Why? Because they suffer in silence, and they've reached the breaking point of where no one cares. They've realized that they are alone in this world. And if they don't delete themselves, they cope by going out into the wild or getting a dog and being alone, like the bushcraft men or van life men. They're dealing and coping with the harsh reality that they're alone in this world. And it shouldn't be like that. I wish it wasn't like that, but this is what we have to deal with as men. And we've been conditioned in all the wrong ways to respond in all the wrong ways to pain, suffering, and disappointment. This is why most men in society today are either living and suffering in silence right now, or they will in the future. It's extremely unfortunate. I wish it wasn't like this, but I'm doing my job by talking about it with you guys. Maybe you guys can identify with it. Maybe you guys can't. Whatever the reason is, I'm going to talk about it and create a space for men to vent their real emotions. So that's my video. You guys don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. You guys try to have a good day, a good week. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.